Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. You're going to do some college football best bets. We're going to look at all of our Week 10 matchups. We're going to try to predict the outcome for every single top 25 game. We'll be focusing on the best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders, but we'll be picking the winner and the loser for every single top 25 matchup. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop your comment down below. Let me know who you think is going to win every single game. What's your favorite pick for the weekend? Leave it in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment below. Click on the links up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. Our very first game is actually a Friday night one, Friday, October 31st, Halloween, 7 p.m. ESPN2. Number 25, Memphis Tigers, coming off that upset win versus USF. On the road versus the 4-4 Rice Owls. Right now, Rice 8.1% chance to win. The Tigers a 91.9% chance, 14-point favorites, 50.5 over-under. Memphis can score some points. Decent defense here. This is the game they should be able to win. Coming off the upset win, though, are they out of gas? Do they have things back on track? Lewis, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks, 1,700 yards. Smith, Bram, they have a lot of weapons. 37.6 points a game. Throwing for 229, running for 210. Very balanced offense, only giving up 19.9. Rice, they don't have a good offense. They don't have a good defense either. But I don't want to say Memphis can't lose this game because just 2 weeks ago they lost to a coachless UAB team. Anything can happen. Rice, 21.6 points a game, giving up 28. But they're running for 226 yards per game. They're a rush-focused team. Top 15 overall rush offense. They might be able to gain some time of possession there. Keep the ball away from the Memphis offense. But automatically, Memphis should be able to control second half. I have the Tigers win this one 41-23. So we'll go with the Tigers covering the spread, and we'll go with the over. And moving on to our Saturday games, November 1st, the month of November. Crazy stuff, the year's flying by. 12 p.m. on Fox, 3-4 Penn State. This was supposed to be one of the biggest games of the season for college football. Everyone had a destined top 5 versus top 5 matchup. But unfortunately, Penn State riding a 4-game losing streak right now. Franklin's been fired on the road versus number 1. The defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, 7-0. This game doesn't quite have the same feeling to it because Penn State has completely gone off the rails, but maybe they can get up for this game. Buckeyes, 88.1% chance to win. Nittany Lions, 11.9. Ohio State, 20.5-point favorites, 43.5 over-under. Saban's having a really good season, becoming more and more comfortable in this scheme, in the system. 1,900 passing yards, 19 touchdowns. 3 picks. The offensive line starting to play better. They got to get Jackson going on the ground, but they really are a pass-first team. Smith, Ennis, Tate might be the best wide receiver core in the nation. Nittany Lions 34 points a game, throwing for 185, running for 170, giving up 19.4. The offense isn't moving the ball. The defense is not playing up to Penn State caliber, but like I said, their head coach has been fired at this point. Team is kind of leaderless right now. They don't know what's going to happen. Some guys are starting to sit out here because they can transfer. Buckeye 36.4 points a game, throwing for 279.7, running for 151.7, only giving up 5.9 points a game. That's the real number, 5.9. They've only given up double digits once. They had the number 1 defense last year. They have the number 1 defense. It's not even close right now. It's crazy. 5.9 points a game. They're only giving up 131 through the air, only 86 on the ground. They have a great secondary. They have Caleb Williams, the top safety in the country. They have one of the best front sevens. They have a great offense, an offense that can keep the wall away from Penn State. But do you really even need to? Because Penn State can't get first downs right now. Doesn't matter. Give me the Buckeyes cruising to the victory here at home, 34-13. The Buckeyes just barely cover that spread, and we'll go with the over. November 1st, 12 p.m. ABC. The last game was supposed to be a big matchup. This actually ended up being a bigger matchup than that. Number 9, the Vanderbilt Commodores, 7-1, coming off that win versus Missouri. A top 25 win. They'll be on the road here versus number 20, the Texas Longhorns, 6-2. Texas cannot afford to lose this game. They already have 2 losses. One more loss would kick them out of the top 25. Kick them out of college football playoff contention because no 9-3 team is going to make the playoffs. Vandy, they don't want to drop number 2 here. They have a lot of momentum. They want to keep that going. They're already in the top 10. Everything's in front of them. You just got to win a couple of these last games. Vanderbilt, 29.5% chance to win. Texas, 70.5. The Longhorns, 1.5-point favorites. That's basically a pick 'em. The over-under's 45.5. The big news, Arch Manning, he's in concussion protocol, might not play this game. If it's not him, could be Caldwell. Not saying that Manning is some life-altering quarterback. Yes, he had a good game last game. But let's call it like it is. Hasn't had the best season so far, but he's familiar with this scheme. It's what he can do with his legs extending plays. He's a dynamic weapon. And obviously Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia here, this is like his 15th year of college football. We know this guy, where he goes, the offense goes with him. 1,700 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, 500 rushing yards. He does everything on this team. Vandy, 38.4 points a game, throwing for 230, running for 203, only giving up 18.8. Texas 29 points a game, only giving up 14.6. Still have a top 15 overall defense. Great front seven. Didn't look too good the last couple weeks. It didn't quite play up to par. 2 straight overtime victories the last 2 weeks in games that they were heavy favorites in. Doesn't install confidence here, but let's call it like it is. Vandy beat Missouri last week with their backup quarterback. But Missouri, if they lose this weekend, they'll be out of the top 25. Vandy technically would have no top 25 wins if that happens. I think they're a little overrated right now. Not saying they're not good. If they win this game, though, everything is in front of them. They will be in the playoffs. But I'm going to go with the Longhorns stealing the limelight. They win this one 27-17. I'm going to go with the Longhorns here. I think they beat the higher ranked team. And give me the Longhorns covering the spread. And again, we're going with the over. This next one, very difficult game to call. 12 p.m. ESPN. Number 10, the Miami Hurricanes 6-1, coming off that win versus Stanford. Prior to that, the upset loss to Louisville. They were very slow out the gate last week, but they controlled the second half. But they have 35 second half points, completely shut the Cardinals out. They'll be on the road versus 5-3 SMU Mustangs. Do not sleep on the Mustangs here. Rhett Lashley, very familiar with Miami's roster. Don't forget, he used to be the offense coordinator. He's plucked a lot of players from this Miami team through the portal. SMU, 30% chance to win. Miami, 70% chance. The Mustangs, they were just in the playoffs last year. You don't want to sleep on them. Mario Cristobal, he has a habit of games that he's heavy favorites in, dropping 1 or 2 of those every single season. You already did it versus Louisville once. You can easily drop this game, but Miami, top 10 overall roster, one of the best offensive lines, one of the best defenses, one of the best front sevens in the country now. Everything is at their back. Do not overlook this game. You can easily win this one. Miami 11-point favorites, 50.5 over-under. Obviously, Carson Beck here. Got to keep the turnovers down. Both these teams can run the ball. Both these teams have solid rush defenses. It's going to come down to the quarterbacks and being smart with the football. Miami 34 points a game, throwing for 257, running for 154, only giving up 14.1 points a game. Obviously, much better than where they were last year. Give Heatherman some props there for revamping this defense. They're giving up 87.3 on the ground. Really good rush defense. Obviously, Ruben Bain might be one of the best defensive linemen in the country. SMU, 31.4 points a game, throwing for 266, running for 122, only giving up 21.4 points a game, only 95 on the ground. Really good rush defenses here. SMU coming off that pretty sloppy game last week, but maybe they just got caught overlooking that one. This is one of the ones to me. It's a pick-em game. Flip a coin. That could be the outcome. I could see Miami dropping another one they're supposed to win, but I'm going to go with that not happening. Give me the Hurricanes win this one 34-24. Such a tough game to call, but we'll go with the plus 11, and we're going to go with the over. Fox Sports 1 at 12 p.m., a Big 12 versus Big 12 matchup. West Virginia 2-6, Rich Rodriguez here. The team is starting to be a little more competitive, but obviously he's had to completely revamp this roster. They're on the road versus the newly ranked number 22, the Houston Cougars, 7-1. How about the Cougars? Really good season. Willie Fritz here coming over, had to completely retool this entire roster the last 2 seasons. It's obvious he's definitely done that so far. Houston, 81.1% chance to win. Mountaineers, 18.9%. Pat McAfee, he's not going to be too happy about that. Right now, Houston, 14-point favorites, 49.5 over-under. West Virginia, 20.5 points a game. Really balanced offense. That's what Rich Rod wants to do. Throw it, run it, spread it out, be up-tempo. They're throwing for 176, running for 176, giving up 29.9. Obviously, the defense leaves a lot to be desired. They almost give up 250 through the air, 160 on the ground. Houston, 28.8 points a game, throwing for 210, running for 171, giving up 18.6 points a game. What I appreciate about the Cougars, Connor Wegman, veteran quarterback transferring over from the Aggies, 1,600 yards, only 2 picks to 12 touchdowns. He's efficient with the football. He's not making mistakes. He's at home. Give me the Houston to win this one, 33-20. Give me the plus 14 here, and we're going with the over. 3 p.m. on the CW Network. Number 16, Louisville Cardinals, 6-1. Louisville here. Jeff Brom, one of the most efficient offensive minds in college football. He completely changes his play calling to whatever this skill set is on his team. Gotta love that. Could potentially be coming up for some job openings. Not saying he's going to leave. That's his alma mater, but he's a hot commodity right now. They're on the road versus the 3-5 Virginia Tech Hokies. Obviously, coach has been fired here, but Virginia Tech, they're actually putting up some points the last couple weeks. Hokies, 26.4% chance to win. Cardinals, 73.6% chance to win. 10.5-point favorites, 53.5 over-under. Louisville, 34.6 points a game, throwing for 269, running for 144, giving up 21.4 points a game. Do not underestimate this Louisville defense. Very good secondary, but it's the front seven. They can get after it, shut the run game down. Miller Moss, keep the ball safe. Isaac Brown, now that he's healthy, was not healthy to start the season. Versus Miami, ran for 125. Last week, he ran for 210 yards, putting up crazy numbers, 700 rushing yards. Bell's a legit NFL-type wide receiver, closing in on 700 also. Virginia Tech, 25.4 points a game, throwing for 190, running for 184. Very balanced offense, giving up 29.9 points a game. Don't like the defense. They do give up a lot of points. Kyle Drones back at quarterback, veteran quarterback, 14 touchdowns, 6 picks. They can run the ball. They just have to be efficient in the passing game. If Louisville gets the early lead, look for them to hold it. Cardinals win this one 32-24. Plus 10.5 and the over. 3:30 p.m. on CBS. Number two, the Fighting Cignettis here. All Curt Cignetti does is win. 8-0. This team on a clear path to the playoffs right now. They made the playoffs last season, but it's probably safe to say this year's Hoosiers team is better than last year's Hoosiers team. Maryland, 4-3. That's who they'll be facing off. Maryland, you got to respect Loxley here. They love to throw the ball. They don't run the ball too well, but sometimes when their offense is on point, they can score some points. Maryland, 9.6% chance to win. Indiana, 90.4% chance. 21.5 point favorites. That's a huge spread versus an in-conference team. That's not a bad team. 51.5 over-under, obviously, for the Hoosiers. Might have the Heisman front-runner right now. Mendoza, 2,000 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 3 picks. He could be the first overall pick in the draft. Hemby closing in on 600 on the ground. How about Surratt? The back shoulder pass, the connection from Mendoza to Surratt. It is a thing of beauty. They're on the road here versus Maryland Terrapin team. Washington, he's got to keep the turnovers down. It's not optional throwing the ball, running the ball. You have to play a near-perfect game to have a chance to win this one at home. He has 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1,700 passing yards. Indiana, 45.4 points a game. Throwing for 264, running for 231. That's a really balanced offense, 500 yards of offense, only giving up 10.9 a game. This defense is just as good. No one wants to talk about the defense. That's a really good defense. Maryland, 28.3 points a game, throwing for 249, running for 103, giving up 17.3. They don't have a bad defense here, but Indiana, they're just a wrecking machine right now, rolling through the Big Ten. Maryland puts up a fight, might be close at halftime. Indiana owns the second half. They win 38-17. Again, we'll be going with that plus 21.5, and we're going to go with the under. The largest cocktail party in the world, 3:30 p.m. ABC. Number 5, Georgia Bulldogs, 6-1, coming off the bye, fully rested. They'll be playing 3-4 Florida Gators, also coming off the bye, fully rested here. Billy Napier is gone. This is the first game without him. Kind of makes this game kind of a little bit of an interesting one, especially since there's going to be a new guy calling plays. Right now, Florida at home, 20.3%, sorry, not at home, in Jacksonville, 20.3% chance to win. The Bulldogs, 79.7% chance. Bulldogs, 7.5 point favorites, 50.5 over-under. Georgia, I don't like the way they run the ball. They got to run the ball, to me, just a little more efficiently. The stats don't tell the true story. I want to see them run it when everyone knows they're going to run it. The money downs when the offensive line has to get pushed at the line of scrimmage here, because this Gators front seven is actually pretty good. They don't have a bad defense. They have a pretty bad offense, but their defense is going to come fired up, prepared to play. They actually somehow almost won this game last year. But DJ Lagway, he's going to have to play a perfect game. He's going to have to be prepared, be upset-minded in this game. Stockton, really good game last game. 1,600 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He's also a mobile dual-threat quarterback. He will extend plays with his legs. Boeing Branch, feed Branch the ball. Bobo, get every play to Branch. Get him the ball in space. Let him do what he does the best. 33.7 points a game. Throwing for 239, running for 191, giving up 19.6 points a game. Not your typical Bulldogs defense. They have holes. You can move this ball on this Georgia team. They give up 222 through the air. You can beat them in their secondary, but Florida, they got some playmakers here, but that's where it comes down to DJ Lagway having a perfect game. 9 touchdowns, 9 picks. Doesn't instill a lot of confidence. Ball having a great season. Brown the third, you got to feed this guy the ball. They're averaging 22.4 points a game, but Billy's not calling plays no more. Throwing for 235, running for 128, giving up 20 points a game. Solid front seven. I think they keep it close. They come just like they always did for Billy. They always came prepared to fight for the guy. I think they put up a very nice fight here. Georgia pulls away there. They win 28-20. Just barely going with Georgia covering the spread, and we're going with the under. And then on ESPN at 3:30, number 12, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 5-2. Let's just call it like it is. This is one of the hottest teams in the country. Notre Dame, a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. They are one of the best teams in college football. Not a team you want to play right now. The offense is rolling. It's the physicality at the line of scrimmage here. They are running it downhill on everyone. And the defense didn't show up the first 3 games. Definitely has showed up the last 4 games. Back the 2024 Notre Dame defense, where they finished number 3 in the country. Marcus Freeman has this team back on track. They're on the road versus the 1-7 Boston College Eagles. Notre Dame here. If you win out, you're in the playoffs. You have 0 room for error. Cannot afford to lose one more game. USC last game, that was your final really tough matchup. After this, it's smooth sailing on paper. No letdown performances, and you're in. Just like I said, no letdown performances. Irish, 97.2% chance to win. Boston College, 2.8% chance. The Irish, 28.5-point favorites, 57.5 over-under. Notre Dame's averaging 39.1 points a game, throwing for 270, running for 192, giving up 21.3 points a game. Carr, the best quarterback I've seen in an Irish uniform in a long time. 14 touchdowns, 4 picks, 1,800 yards. Love, Pierce, the best 1-2 running back combo in the nation, facing Greyhouse. A lot of weapons here. Boston College, Bill O'Brien's team, they're going to have to be extremely aggressive to have a shot here. But the more aggressive you get with that secondary, could lead to some turnovers, averaging 26.8. Throwing for 269, running for 102, giving up 34.4 points a game. Do not like the Eagles' defense here, hosting the Irish. Notre Dame wins this one 44-17. Huge spread here, just barely. Boston College, the plus 28.5, but Notre Dame wins, and we're going to go with the over. 3:30 p.m. on Fox. Number 13, Texas Tech Red Raiders 7-1. McGuire, they got this team on track. The big news, they're going to probably have Morton back for this game. They need him at the quarterback position. Their only loss this year, Morton didn't play. Their starting quarterback wasn't on the field. We don't want to excuse a loss, but it's definitely a pretty good excuse. They're on the road here versus 4-4 Kansas State Wildcats. Don't underestimate the Wildcats here. They're actually playing really good football the last couple weeks. The offense, Avery Johnson, they've finally woken up. He's the highest recruited player in Kansas State history, and they're slinging it pretty good. Kansas State, 35.5% chance to win. Red Raiders, 64.5% chance. The number one transfer portal class. Red Raiders, 7.5-point favorites, 52.5 over-under. Texas Tech, 43.6 points a game, throwing for 300, running for 199, only giving up 12.4 points per game. A top 5 defense in the country, only giving up 68 rushing yards per game. Top 3 rush defense. Who would have ever thought Texas Tech is a line of scrimmage football team in the 2025 season? Crazy stuff happens. Kansas State, 31 points a game, throwing for 224, running for 143, giving up 25.8 points a game. Texas Tech, Dickey having a great season on the ground, but it's what Kansas State can do. Johnson running the ball, Jackson running the ball, Brown's the deep threat here. They have a real shot to pull off the upset, but I think that Texas Tech offense getting back to form makes the difference. They win this one 40-27. Texas Tech covers the spread. We'll go with the over. ESPN 2, 3:45 p.m. Number 15, the Virginia Cavaliers, 7-1. Virginia playing some very close games last couple weeks. Probably should have lost a couple of them. They just barely beat Louisville, barely beat Washington State, barely beat UNC. At some point, when you skirt that close to disaster, at some point it's going to catch up to you. Maybe it's this week. They're on the road versus the 5-3 California Golden Bears. Right now, Cal at home, 32.5% chance to win. The Cavaliers, 67.5. This is in a cross-country trip. Virginia going all the way from the East Coast, all the way to the other side of the country. Time zones are different. Crazy stuff happens when teams travel from coast to coast. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Right now, UVA, 4-point favorites, 54.5 over-under. Cavaliers, 37.1 points a game, throwing for 251, running for 186. Actually, pretty good offense here, but Morris didn't play the best last week. Got to get things back on track. Taylor, Harris, they got weapons, but running for 186, giving up 22.4 points a game. For Cal to pull off the upset here, it's going to come down to the ground game and efficiency. The quarterback, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks. Got to keep those picks down here. Do not give this Cavalier offense any more possessions. Cal's averaging 25 points a game, throwing for 254, running for 87, giving up 24.4 points a game. You can call me crazy. I would understand. I'm going to go out on the ledge here and give me Cal pulling off the upset 28-24. Upset alert here. Give me the +4, going with the under. Moving back over to SEC play, 7 p.m. on ESPN. This is an under-the-radar, really good game. 3-5 South Carolina Gamecocks. Shane Beamer's team did not live up to the hype this season. Caught up on everyone last year. No one was prepared for them. Everyone brought their A game this season. Started out the year in the top 12. They've fallen off. They almost upset Alabama. Some could say for back-to-back seasons, they should have won that game last week, but it got away from them fourth quarter. On the road versus number 7 Ole Miss Rebels, 7-1, coming off the upset win versus the Sooners. We picked them to upset the Sooners, so no surprise there. Is there a team with more cloud around Ole Miss? What I mean by that is Lane Kiffin's name is linked to every single open job right now. They're a hot team. They're rolling, one of the best teams in the nation. This is the season. They weren't supposed to be that good this season. They were supposed to be good last year. They're that good this year. Ole Miss, 81% chance to win. Gamecocks, 19% chance. Rebels, 12.5-point favorites, 54.5 over-under. How about Shamlis coming over? He's only started 6 games, 1,900 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 pick. Lacey, whilst the third, weapons all over the field. You know Lane Kiffin's team can always score. They don't have the best defense, but the defense did show up when they needed it second half last week. On the other side, Lenore Sellers, we need accuracy throwing the ball. We need that offense to get back on track. They have a good defense. It's the offense holding them back. South Carolina, 20.4 points a game, throwing for 195, running for 107, giving up 21.1. Ole Miss, 37 points a game, throwing for 306, running for 179. That's a good offense, giving up 23 points a game. They could potentially get caught looking forward here. They only have 4 games left. As long as they win 3 of 4, they are in the playoffs. But you'd rather just win out. Give me Ole Miss continuing to stay hot. They win 34-20. Ole Miss covers the spread, and we're going with the under just barely. The Big Ten Network, 7 p.m., 2-6 Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue, they didn't start out the season too bad, but they're riding a 5-game losing streak right now, really holding this team back. The offense can't move the ball. The defense is getting torched left and right on the road versus number 21, the 6-2 Michigan Wolverines. They're playing the quiet game, slowly climbing their way up through the polls. Potentially, if they can stay undefeated, it's going to set up a very nice final game of the season when they play the Ohio State Buckeyes. One of the best rivalries in all of college football. Michigan, 93.8% chance to win, 21.5-point favorites. That's a huge spread here for a Michigan offense that really isn't a good offense. They're just efficient. The over-under is 51. Purdue, 22.9 points a game, throwing for 246, running for 142, giving up 27.8 points a game. But it's the last couple weeks. They have been scorched the last couple weeks. It is not going to help getting deeper into conference play. Brown here, you got to keep the turnovers down. As many interceptions as touchdowns, it's not going to help. Michigan, 29 points a game, throwing for 191, running for 220. That's what Sharon Moore wants to do. The ground and pound, just grind you down, control the pace of the game, control the game clock, control the third and fourth quarter. That's the recipe to win. Bryce Underwood, true freshman, good season. Haynes closing in on 900 yards. They don't have playmakers at the wide receiver position, but they got a good defense. They can run. It's more than enough to beat Purdue. Michigan wins this one 38-17. And for this one, we'll go with the plus 21.5. We'll go with the over. 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Number 8, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Brenke's team here, 8-0, undefeated. They had a really good show up last week. The offense showed up. The defense showed up. Prior to that, a couple very close games, skating close to disaster. They were able to separate themselves, get that offense back running the ball. They play time of possession football. They run physical runs down the middle. How about King? The quarterback no one's talking about, 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, 700 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns. He's like 75% of this team's offense. I don't know how sustainable that is, but so far it's working. They're on the road here versus the 4-4 NC State Wolfpack. Don't underestimate the Wolfpack. Yes, their defense is complete garbage, but they can actually score some points. 28.9% chance to win. Yellow Jackets, 71.1% chance. Georgia Tech, 6.5-point favorites, 57.5 over-under. The Yellow Jackets, 36 points a game, throwing for 243, running for 230. That's a balanced offense, giving up 20 points a game. It all comes down to Haynes King. It's the physical third and longs. He's still taking off running. He will get the first down. NC State, 30.5 points a game, throwing for 270, running for 151, giving up 29.9. They give up a lot of points, but Bailey there, 17 touchdowns, only 7 picks, 2,100 yards. Smothers closing in on 900 yards rushing. I'm going to say this. Upset alert potential. I'm going to avoid this game completely because the upset can happen here. This is one of the weeks for it to happen for Georgia Tech, but I'm going to go with the Yellow Jackets thing just bouncing their way fourth quarter. They win 28-24. Georgia Tech's going to win it. We'll have them covering the spread. We'll go with the under. And this next one's actually a really tough game. 7:30 p.m. on ABC, another ranked v. ranked matchup. Number 18 Oklahoma Sooners, 6-2, coming off that upset loss to Ole Miss here. They have the second most difficult schedule in the country next to Florida here. For them to have any shot here, Brent Venables has a lot of pressure on him. He would love to win this game because if they lose it, they're probably getting booted out of the top 25. On the road versus number 14, Tennessee Volunteers, 6-2. Josh Heupel here, they still have playoff hopes. They only have 2 losses. If they win out, they're in. But obviously that is easier said than done in the SEC. The Volunteers, one of the best offenses in the country. Top 3 overall offense. Josh Heupel calling plays, one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. But the defense. This is as bad as defense gets, but boy, can they score some points. Joey Aguilar, 2,400 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. Bishop closing in on 700. Brazel closing in on 800. They can throw it. They can run it. They just don't play any defense whatsoever. On the other side, Oklahoma, it's obvious that John Mateer not back to 100%. He's everything for this offense. They don't have a good ground game. They don't have a good offensive line. They don't have great skill position players at the wide receiver position. For them to win, he has to play perfect, and he has to completely put this team on his back, carry them across the finish line. He's capable of doing that, but you need him at 100%. He has not been there since he broke his hand. Oklahoma, 28.4 points a game, throwing for 246, running for 130, giving up 12.5 points a game. That's where they have a shot to win here. One of the best defenses in the nation, but it did not slow down Ole Miss last week. And Tennessee's offense, it's one of the best. Tennessee, 45.6 points a game, throwing for 321, running for 189, giving up 30.9 points a game. The defense is so bad that the Sooners are going to get some points, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Tennessee at Tennessee. Volunteers win 28-24. The Vols cover the spread, going with the under. Second to last game, NBC, 7:30 p.m. Number 23, the USC Trojans back in the top 25. One of the best offenses in the nation. In my personal opinion, Lincoln Riley is the best offensive mind in college football. Definitely the best quarterbacks coach. Mayava right now just doing everything. Running the ball, 2,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 picks. He has a very deep running back room. They've lost some of their running backs, and they can still run the ball. One of the best 1-2 wide receiver combos. Lemon, Lane, they're both first-round pick talent guys. They're on the road. Verse 6-2, Matt Rule's Nebraska Cornhuskers. Don't sleep on Nebraska. They got a good offense. Dana Holgerson calling plays. Physical defense. They have a 27.9% chance to win, but they can just never win the big game, whether they're home on the road. They can just never do it for some reason. Trojans, 72.1% chance to win. USC, 7-point favorites, 59.5 over-under. Vegas sees some points being scored. USC, 42.4 points a game, throwing for 326, running for 204, giving up 23.1 points a game. We need to see D'Anton Lynn get that defense just a little bit back on track. On the other side, Dylan Raiola, or the Patrick Mahomes wannabe, 2,000 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, pick 6. How about Johnson on the ground, closing in on 900 yards rushing? Hunter's the go-to guy for the wide receiver room, 35 points a game, throwing for 272, running for 129, giving up 19.6. Like I said, physical defense, physical team, solid defense, solid offense. But I think USC coming in here, they're rolling off the bye, fully rested, back in the top 25. They win this one 34-26, and it is a super fun game. Trojans cover the spread. We'll go with the over. What a tough game to call next. Our very final game, 10:15 p.m. on ESPN, a really late one. Number 17, Cincinnati Bearcats, 7-1. How about the Bearcats this season? They can throw, they can run, they have a really good defense. This is a veteran experienced squad on the road versus number 24, the Utah Utes, 6-2. Utah, very difficult to beat at Utah. The fans, they're going to be rabid. The Utes, 80.6% chance to win. Bearcats, 19.4. Utah, 7.5-point favorites, 56.5 over-under. One of our ranked v ranked matchups. In Cincinnati, they're rolling, playing really good football, coming off a win versus Baylor. Solid Baylor team, really good offense. Cincinnati shut that offense down. Sorsby, 1,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He's also a mobile quarterback. They have Pryor, Allen. They're averaging 38.3 points a game, throwing for 242, running for 195, giving up 19 a game. Utah, Kyle Whittingham, second longest tenured coach in the country. Devin Dampier, he's his secret weapon. Is he going to be fully healthy this game? That's the big question. Without him, they lose it. With him, they got a shot. 38.9 points a game, throwing for 210, running for 267, giving up 14.3 points a game. This is a really good defense and one of the best offensive lines. This is a game, in my personal opinion, it's a 50-50 matchup. It's a pick-em. Whoever has the ball last might win this. I think it's going to be a very physical matchup, line of scrimmage, trench warfare game. I hate even having to pick one of these teams. Cincinnati's been so good. What version of Utah shows up? Sometimes they look good. The very next week, they don't quite play up to par. They are at home here. Very tough game, but I'll go with Utah squeaking out the win, 28-26. Give me the plus 7.5 here, and we're going to go with the under. Guys, that's our best bets for all of our Week 10 college football matchups. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below. What's your favorite bet this weekend? Who do you think is going to win these games? I'll leave it in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment below. Click on the link, sign up there. I would definitely appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching.